in that. But yes, all of that is taken care of. He is unenrolled and he has his reimbursement and out what little we were to get back.
But I would like to go back to this and look up the proper procedures for doing this and definitely make sure you got approval from the council.
Okay.
Because I don't remember signing anything, and this has to be an ordinance. So we need to revisit this. On page 10, the Don McGee, is that from our audit?
Yes, ma'am, it is. And, she's supposed to be getting us printed audit reports so that we can pick those up next week. We did get a favorable audit, and we're good. All of it's been filed with the LLA.
Any additional questions on the financials?
On page 120, I see transfer from unfunded fund in the treasury fund.
That was for the flag purchase.
Okay.
And the flag came from the donation account. So that was where that was transferred and then paid for what we did it for. Yes, ma'am.
No additional questions. I'll need a motion to adopt the financials and a second.
I'll make a motion to adopt the financials with the approval of revisiting that life insurance and make sure that it's done correctly and get the approval of the council.
I second that motion.
All in favor? Any
Aye.
abstain? Okay, so we have had a few people ask about the lease of the ballpark. So we need some kind of guidelines on how to rent the ballpark. I sent you a copy of some fees that we could charge, whatever y'all decide. And the first paragraph is use of the ballpark where the people that are renting it are not charging participants or vendors to come. Example, family reunion, a revival, something along that lines. Anybody that wants to put on an event and not charge and make a profit off of it, that would be at one rate. And whether or not they used electricity would also make a difference. The second paragraph is the use of the ballpark where the people that lease the ballpark are charging for events. kids would have a place to play and get out. They wouldn't be charging for those things.
Will they still be, having to have some sort of
They
insurance?
have to have event insurance to cover the liability on it. I didn't want to overprice it to where no one would want it. And at this point, we're not using it as much right now because we just haven't been. And we don't want it to sit there and become another 50-year-old ballpark that wasn't in use. So I think if we put it out there that the ballpark is available for use and rental, that we might be getting some of that. We might could get some revenue from it, we could also, get use of the ballpark from it.
Or we currently advertising
No,
any other way other than the board usually?
no, we're not advertising for it.
Can I ask a question right now? It
You
has
tell
something
me
to do
your
with the
mic.
ball. It has something to do with ballpark, it's a note that I got, ran if I can, all right? And the note, it says Dubach pledges money for pure and lighting installation costs, with the promise that they will be paid back after the time Dubach funds, but the revenues generated by the ballpark events. So, tell me there, how would this, by even written it like this, from the ballpark events, would we be able to, how would that, I mean, this is a question I'm asking because it's out there.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm looking
I
at
just
it
got
here.
the same note you got.
Okay, so
I
I'm
don't
asking,
remember the council
okay, so
agreeing to that.
because it's still stuck, but from the revenue generated by the ballpark, which the town is doing it, and you see, you catch what I'm saying? I'm not wondering how they're gonna, I'm not getting how they're gonna be generating funds for them. If that's a promise,
Okay.
which maybe that could come at a later date, but I
Can we-
maybe thought this was
Yeah.
in
Can we
with
do
this.
this when, ask that question again when Randy gets up to talk about
Okay.
this? Just, we
Okay.
put it in the
Yeah.
same.
Okay. And the lights, they would be using the lights anyway, wouldn't they? The big lights, if they needed lights, if you're shutting down at 11 at night,
Yeah.
and they're out there, they're gonna need the big
Need
lights.
the lights. That's why I did two prices, one with lights
And
and
one
one without.
without electric.
And from my understanding, they're LED lights, and they probably don't cost a lot, is that correct? Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, do we have somebody from the council that goes to the ballpark board meetings?
We don't, we haven't had a ballpark board meeting in a long time.
Okay. I'm just going off of what I'm seeing.
We don't really have a ballpark board right now.
Oh, we don't?
So what do y'all think about the fees? Do y'all wanna continue on, or do you wanna table it? I mean, we can't
What is the
advertise
ballpark fee now?
it. Do what?
What is the ballpark fee as of now? Do you have?
We don't have a set fee. We've never had a set fee. We just need to get one so that we can advertise that people can actually use it, and we'll have something in mind.
I'd say until we get more information from the guys that are gonna give us information, we table it to the next meeting. Because, I mean, I don't know what a ballpark fee is, but
Well,
honestly.
I paid,
based on
I'm
my
due a
life,
date, you know, I paid for a Hopewell Foundation, but they never got it together. And I think I paid $250, $275, which is still up there in
But
case.
we might can take, they might can take some of these, fees from some of our other, I don't know.
It has to be done and done, it eventually done, because people are gonna be wanting to rent it, and it needs to,
Right.
it needs to be used.
I mean, we've had it up and going for a couple of years now, and we've never had a set fee, so we definitely need to get one in writing at some point. And with summer coming up, I'm afraid we'll be getting some reunions and family get-togethers that want to use the ballpark. And I don't want to have to wait till another council meeting to be able to find out.
And let me ask you this, and I'm not gonna prolong it. It's two different things, but is there any kind of way you can join, we can also have, a thing where they can join the building along with the ballpark if they want it? And that's just an option, because some families, when they have the reunion, they wanna play ball, or they wanna use the field. That's just something to think about.
You're talking about joining
Join,
this building and
yeah,
that building?
and have another one, have another thing to where, okay, if you want the ballpark and,
Yeah, I would
That's
think
just a
if they
thought.
rented this building and the ballpark, that
yeah.
we could give them a discounted
Yeah.
rate for
And
having
we can
both
get
of
it on
them.
paperwork, so.
A package will be.
So is there a fee, like a motion fee, or y'all just looking for the max to throw out there?
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, what do y'all want to do with this?
I'd like to table it until I hear more
Yeah.
from the ballpark.
Until the next meeting?
See what they try to do.
You wanna take it to
Table
the
it.
next meeting?
I'd like to table it until I hear more from the ballpark side. I make a motion that we table it until after we hear from the ballpark guys, and then we can revisit it.
I agree.
In this same meeting? we'll
In this
revisit it.
same
That's what I'm trying to get in the notes.
Copy, copy.
Okay.
All right, so I guess you're up next, your next budget.
Well, I'm gonna get Eric to go first, because his will be more exciting, but this sounds like a pretty good segue from what I've got to say, because what I've heard so far is what kind of goes into what my thinking is right now. And you've all got this handout. If you don't mind, I read better than I speak. First of all, the ballpark is beautiful. I just walked it. The grass is like Augusta. I mean, it's just beautiful. So what we set out to do is right out there for everybody to see. And all those that helped, every one of them, thank you. So what we ran into with some of the softball tournaments that we had were co-ed, men and women, adult. And it didn't turn out like we planned. By that I mean we have dugout rules. We have rules posted by the dugout. It's one of the dugouts. We put it on the outside wall when you come in. No smoking, no drinking, no cussing, all the standard softball stuff. They didn't. That building, other play people that play can't read, because they would sit their beer down at home plate next to their Marlboro Reds and hurl F-bombs from the mound. I heard it.
Me too.
And at 70 years old, I'm a little too old to go break up a fight. We also had a fight down there. We had to get the cops called. So while this type of event delivers some revenues to the town of Dubach, it's questionable whether this particular type of crowd, with all the problems cited above, is worth the trouble. We may want to try to attract a more wholesome, family-friendly group of participants, young people, give them a place to play. And from day one, the mayor expected certain things from the softball tournament director. Very, very easy to follow. She said, let's collect all the tournament fees and turn them into the town of Dubach in a timely fashion. Did that happen, Tammy?
No.
No. Keep track of all tournament expenses before and after, and turn in the receipts for monies spent on prizes for rings, bats, jerseys, etc. Something to do with one day having an audit, right? Routinely failing to do this caused considerable friction between the tournament organizer, the mayor, and the ballpark committee, and led to the ballpark committee being dissolved. The opportunity. The historic ballpark is 95% restored. It has field lighting, a concession stand, a 1,000-seat grandstand, 2 new dugouts, new outfield fencing. In the future, but not urgent, we could use a scoreboard like most ball fields have. A fence topper. We have one in left center. We need one in right center that goes on top of the fence. And some more lighting in center field. That's to make it ideal. That's the other 5%. Come on, I'm trying to keep this under 5 minutes. Does anybody's fingers get dry? You good? Okay. Currently configured primarily to be a softball field because grandstand seating capacity is ideal for many other types of revenue generating events for town of Dubach. That's what I think we're missing, guys. It can't just be a softball field. It's beautiful, it's big, it could be everything from a chili cook-off to a car show. I mean, what can't you have out there? I can't think of anything. There's a whole list of things. This is AI, by the way, came up with this list. So it's got to be true, right? It's got to be true. But look at some of those events and what they would bring to the town in terms of revenue. It's endless. Now, what we don't have, and what got pointed out here a minute ago, Kyle, we don't have a manager. We don't have a manager to manage the ballpark. We don't have a promoter to bring people into the ballpark, to bring any of these events. Who's in charge of doing it, Evelyn? I don't know either, right? I know it ain't me. That's what we need. We don't believe that the town of Dubach has now or will ever have the human resources necessary to promote, organize, or run any of the events shown in the table above. It's going to take a dedicated person or persons or a third-party organization with experience in promoting events and event venue. A lot of the things y'all want to discuss here today, that could be ironed out by the event promoter. Here's what we charge. Here's what everybody else charges around the area. So we don't lose an event to somebody for $50 because we did our due diligence and we know we're in the market with what we charge. But I don't think that's a town responsibility to have to come up with that with no more resources than we have. So instead of hiring a person to take on this role, we recommend that this position be advertised in social and print media as a straight commission position. Meaning if you bring in a $10,000 event, you get a percentage of that. We're not hiring an employee, we're not paying an employee. This person waits on straight commission. The more money they bring into the town, utilizing that ballpark, the more they put in their pocket. This person could be a retiree, former coach, stay-at-home mom, anyone with enough energy and wherewithal to proactively contact participants and book events. You want to have a food truck deal? Find somebody that knows how to call all the food truck people in. They know how to do that. Or they know how to go, it's their job to go find that out. Get it off the town's plate. The city of Minden, where I live, I was looking, they have a deal called, where we have the Lincoln Parish Journal, they have the Webster Parish Journal, and there was an article. City of Minden hires a third-party promoter for their recreational efforts. Talked to a town councilman today. Why did y'all do that? We don't have the people to draw those people in. And so we found a company in Florida called Airstream Ventures. Go look at them on the internet. And you'll see their little ad if you flip the next page. Look at what they provide. And tell me that's not something we need. Event management, client hospitality, consulting. He said they do everything that we're not able to do. They bring in the people, they've got the Rolodex of all the people they do this all over the country. Now, how do they get paid? Well, Minden pays them. Minden's got 16 fields. We have one. Well, 2 if you count, we can use a school, right? They pay them a flat fee to manage that, plus a percentage of the gross of what they bring into the town. And does that sound good so far? Because the field is sitting idle right now. Dubach is blessed to have the type of, and also not just the softball field, but the nature trail, the children's park, the lake, live music, They do all of that kind of stuff. Anything that brings $1 into Dubach, they would be responsible for. And we would just sit back and say, okay, now we need liability, of course, that's given. And we tell them what we need and we strike a deal. Now, they work on a sliding scale, which means Minden's got 13,000 people, we have 1,000. We don't pay what Minden pays, right? But I would like your permission to contact these folks. I already talked to them one time. The guy actually went to school in Alexandria, so he knows all about North Louisiana. He told me so himself. So I sent him pictures of every amenity that we had to let him know. And it was funny, when I put all that together, I got excited. When you put a ribbon around everything that we've got to offer, we've got a lot. The main thing is that let's head off what has happened to all the small towns in this country that just dried up because they didn't have a James Lake, a ballpark, a pavilion, a facility, the Hamilton Warehouse, the dog trot, the gym theater. You don't think that's going to bring a lot of people into town? We've got a lot to sell. We just got to sell it. We've got to promote it to keep us from drying up. Any questions from the council or anybody in the crowd? I guess I did a good job. Thank y'all very much.
So, as the council, would y'all like to give Randy permission to get in touch with some people, to get people, if not these people, someone else, and get some more specifics to our town? What would they charge?
I won't commit anything, but I'll just do the data gathering.
I mean, they come and talk to us.
They came to Minden and went, look all over town. Now, I don't know if they're gonna want to go for Dubach, but we're gonna ask them to come and see because we got a lot to sell. We got a lot to sell. We need to be very proud of the town. We've come a long way in the last 3 years, haven't we, Mona?
Yes, we have. And it's hard to put an event together. I mean, I'm trying to put the Dubach, celebrate Dubach together now. And
Try getting the band together on July 4th. They're like, well, no,
I got one.
we got a family barbecue. Anyway.
Okay, Randy, will you have permission from the council to
Yeah,
reach out to them, if not them, anybody else you can
Okay.
find that you can bring back to the council and say, hey,
We'll do it.
we need to do this. It would be helpful with our budget if they worked on commission only.
Yes.
Because of our budget, just
Right.
paying them something plus commission would be a
Understand.
little difficult right now.
100%.
All right. Next on the list is Eric, and he's going to give us an update on the gym theater and how good the popcorn was.
It was good for us.
First of all, I want to thank everybody here who came. We had 300 people, plus people, that came there. I cooked 16 pounds of popcorn. And all I did was just put it on Facebook that we were going to pop popcorn in the lobby. Please come by and get some because I don't want to throw it away because I've got to test out the machine and get the recipe just right. If we had really tried to advertise it, we would have had 1,000 people in the downtown. Rick live streamed it and made a video, 13,000 views. People are aware that things are happening in Dubach. Where we are on it right now, this time next week, if I don't have a heart attack or run out of money, the auditorium will be finished. And once the auditorium is finished, no matter, oh, thank y'all. Once the auditorium is finished, and the lobby, the auditorium and the lobby will be finished. We may not have the balcony finished in time for the grand opening, but I'm ready to open. We've had some setbacks. We had collapsed pipe that we didn't know anything about. We had a conference, the CinemaCon, and I planned things for that week, and then before that, the Tri-State Theater Convention. All of my technicians, I couldn't reach them. So I couldn't get the help that I needed to get the projectors up and running. Bill Matthews is my consultant out of Memphis. Right now, he's in Tombstone because he left the CinemaCon in New Jersey with his wife, and he's spending 10 days driving around. They went to Tombstone and the Grand Canyon and everything, just taking a long overdue vacation. Well, I need him back here to get but the projector is in place. I need somebody who can get it up and running and get me the keys and everything that I need to download the movies and show them. He will be here the last week of the month. If we don't get the balcony open, that'll just have to be phase 2. I'm in the process right now of signing the contracts with the studios, and another shout out for Dubach, the nicest lady, a vice president from Disney Pictures, is aware that the Gym Theater in Dubach is opening, and she said she wants to make sure that we get, it'll be available, the Star Wars movie. It's a blockbuster. We'll fill up the theater for 3 weeks with that. Now, this is something that I've said over and over again in my lifetime. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. We want Dubach to flourish. Get ready, because 3-4 nights a week, the downtown, when I get through, the downtown's going to be full of people. Okay? Life's going to change in Dubach. What we're hoping to do is turn downtown Dubach. I've got 6 buildings, and what I hope to do, I'm in talks with a lot of different people for a lot of different things. A lot of this is going to depend on whether we can get alcohol in a restaurant. And, oh, by the way, Miss Evelyn, I did all that research. I just got off the phone with the person that I needed to, and if you would like, I will wait until that comes up, and I can answer all your questions about that. I did the licensing for a short period of time in Ruston. I just was scared to speak because I hadn't had a chance to check. See, it's been 8 years, and I want to make sure that the rules hadn't changed. But getting back to Dubach, the downtown, it is my stated goal to turn it into an entertainment destination. People love to get in a car and drive places, to go have a glass of wine, to go to a movie or whatever. Dinner and a movie. And the balcony in phase 2, the balcony is going to have tables, and the building that y'all so graciously agreed to sell to me, I'm going to keep my word. It's going to be a restaurant. That'll be phase 2. People will be able to order food from there. It's coming together, but I could not believe that a lady from Disney Studios, a vice president, was enamored with the idea of the little theater, and she knows that we have a theater in Dubach, Louisiana. And everything is, like I said, going well. There's no reason why we can't be open on May 22nd. We just may not be completely finished, but I am just simply not going to wait any longer. We will probably have to go to reserved seating. I was just on the phone earlier today with a web hoster who can build me a website so that when people can go online and make sure that they've got a ticket, because us being 12 miles from Ruston, 20 miles from Homer, 20 miles from El Dorado, I don't want anyone driving here and not being able to get a ticket. So I want to make sure they can check to see, everything. And that was something I didn't. I'm sorry.
What's the seating capacity for
The seating,
right
yeah.
now?
Right now, when we have the bottom part of the auditorium ready, it'll have 154 seats. And there will be an additional 4 seats in the baby cry room that we may or may not use. And then there will be 50 seats upstairs in the balcony. The air conditioning, I can hang meat in there. So the air conditioning is great. Everything's good. The plumbing in place. Everything's good to go. The electrical's finished. And I think everyone's seen the downtown. I'm out there working, and it's a steady stream of cars. I'm scared we're going to have somebody run over the bank because they're driving by looking at, isn't that neon sign just wonderful out there? And that is it. That's everything we got on that.
So you plan, your May the 22nd, maybe your soft opening, you're gonna have a ribbon cutting prior to that?
What we will do on the Thursday before that, we will have a private, and I'm going to have to make it private, because if I put it on Facebook, I'm afraid there'd be a lot of mad people, because we'll have 150 seats. I've got that much family that's going to be invited to it. So it'll be a private ceremony, and we'll probably do a screening of a movie that's in the public domain that was from the era and when it closed. By public domain, I don't have to get permission from the studios to show it. We're not 100% sure what all we're going to do on that ceremony, but we will have some kind of ceremony. I've gotten word that the Lieutenant Governor may show up for it. Ronnie Walker may come because, I mean, it's Ruston, but I mean, we're all part together. I mean, people are going to come out of Ruston.
Like Chris Turner, Representative.
Chris Turner,
Or
yeah.
Jerry Person,
I-
people like that.
Yeah, this next week, I'm going to try to get a list together of people that we need to make sure are invited to that. And again, I hate it that that everybody couldn't come to that ceremony, but we only got 150 seats,
Right.
and we can fill that up like that. Does anybody have any questions? All right, thank y'all.
We're ready for you. Okay, next on the ballot, the agenda is alcohol election is May the 16th. That is a Saturday. We do have some, the propositions are here. The last column is the propositions for Dubach specifically. We also have a larger picture of what the voting ballot will look like. You're welcome to take one of these and study them. I reached out to our attorney and got some clarification on a few of them. Proposition 1, the first one, would allow low alcohol content beverages, mostly beer, low content wine coolers, to be sold at stores to take home. That's packaged liquor to take home. Places like a liquor store, grocery store, gas station, anybody in town that is allowed to sell it. Proposition 2 would allow low alcohol content, beer, wine coolers, etc., to be sold at a place of purchase, such as a bar or a lounge, which right now we don't have. Proposition 3, also selling alcohol containing 1/2 of the 1% alcohol by volume and above for consumption on the premises. So that proposition would allow high and low alcohol content such as beer, wine, and hard liquor like rum, bourbon, or vodka to be sold to drink at a place of purchase. Proposition 4 says this, it would allow low and high, which means everything, to be sold at stores to take home only, such as your grocery, gas station, liquor stores, things along that line. And the last proposition, number 5, would allow low and high, which means all of it, to be served in a restaurant. Now, the attorney did clarify a few extra things for me. Proposition 2 and 3, which is concerning bars and lounges. She said proposition 1 and 4 are for stores, 2 and 3 are for bars and lounges. So they couldn't just go to the store, let's say Dubach convenience store, buy a case of beer or whatever, and go out in the parking lot and drink it. It's not allowed. But she said restaurants have to get what's called an R permit. I'm assuming that's for a restaurant. And once they get that permit, and they can sell during their restaurant business. However, the council is allowed, and she will be happy to help us write some ordinances for location. It could be streets, it could be a block, it could be things like that, where we could do ordinance for these places only to be able to sell alcohol.
Just to be clear, we're talking about zoning, correct?
Yeah, it's a zoning ordinance. So once the alcohol, whichever one of these ordinances are passed, if any, then she will get with the town council and determine what's best for the town of Dubach as far as an ordinance goes. Everyone that sells alcohol in Dubach will have to buy a permit, and from what I understand, they're not that cheap, and it's an annual permit, like a occupational license.
What about the percentage of alcohol? Of the volume, I'm looking at not more than 6%.
Yeah, I don't understand percentages that well. I would guess that she put low and high, which includes all your bourbons and things, that would be in your 6%. Yeah, I don't know, I'm thinking. Anybody know that for sure? Eric, do you know?
Okay, the 6% is generally the alcohol content of beer and wine coolers, 6%. The ordinances, the propositions rather, are a little bit confusing because they say 1.5% or higher in the ones. Those that say 1.5% or higher mean just that. It's alcohol percent up to 200 proof if you want to sell it. Huh? Well, it's the 1.5% or higher just means high content alcohol. The 1.5% or higher is confusing, but it just means that's the high alcohol content, which would be strong, most of your high-end wines, distilled spirits, things of that nature. And 6% is beer and wine.
Your 6% is gonna be your like Michelob Ultras, Bud Light, that sort of stuff. That's kept at a 5% alcohol content. But anything other, they are like craft beers and things like that go up to like 8, 9, 10, 12%. That's the stuff that wouldn't be allowed to be sold in restaurant, or in the like gas station or whatever.
Basically, the propositions with the higher number, the 6, are the ones that are actually talking about the smaller stuff, and the ones with the smaller number, the 1.5, are talking about the bigger stuff.
If a person wanted to differentiate between whether or not they wanted only beer and low wine sold, rather than just like any and all alcohol, that would be how they would vote differently on whether or not it was like, they would vote yes on 1 and 4, or 1 and 2, and vote no on the rest, because the rest is what considers the upper alcohol.
Okay, so keep that in mind, if you plan on being out of town on May the 16th and you really want to vote on this, make sure you early vote for those.
Mayor, while we're on this, do we have, I don't see it on here, I know the liquor licensing is very much more detailed than what we have here. What have we discussed in the previous timing to be able to sell alcohol? We're gonna sell, we don't allow to do something till 10, like. the
That
stores
would be
are
an
gonna have it.
ordinance that we do after
After
whatever is voted on. She didn't want to do ordinances ahead of schedule in case everything was voted no, and she didn't want to do an ordinance on something that is gonna be a no. So after it, whatever passes, we have a council meeting the next Monday after that. So 2 days later, we have a council meeting, and hopefully we can get together some ordinances for that.
Can we get a representative from Lincoln Parish Sheriff's Department to come with that one time? I know currently right now we don't have enough. We only have our police department, we only have those guys till 10:30 at night. If we're gonna be able, if this goes through, we're gonna need more police, and currently we're not getting that. So I just wanna make sure that we're thinking ahead, one step ahead of what is to come.
You can always ask them. I mean, their response so far has been, if you need us, call us.
I'm well
Because
aware.
they're supposed to be helping to protect us when our officers are not available.
Okay.
If I may, Kyle, I don't know if the council has thought about this as it relates to that. There are a lot of people like me who are retired police, and we still carry active certification. We could put a badge on tomorrow. If somebody hires us, we wouldn't even have to go back to school. There are a lot of people like that. Tommy Doss, I can think of a bunch of people. Have y'all considered reaching out to my community, or the retired community, to see if they would be willing to take reserve police officer commissions and help out with matters from time to time at no cost? It would be a volunteer thing. It would cost the town of Dubach, because you would have to have some type of liability insurance on that person.
Right.
But other than that, I'm sure that we could find retired police officers who still have commissions.
I know currently they have the COPS program, but you have to be the COPS, like the little sedan that they have driving around, that goes around Lincoln Parish.
Those are just, I think, citizen observers is all that is.
I'm just saying that that's where you're gonna be, that's gonna be the first area that they're gonna push you towards, because I've gone down there and said the exact same thing you've said to myself, but because of other military background, I was told I was pushed towards the COPS. But I would be, if the council was willing, I would like to further into that.
It's just something to think about. If we do have the populations and everything, you are going to need more law enforcement, and that might be a way that you could afford to get some help. That could be through a reserve police officer program where.
Do like reserve deputies?
Well, these would be reserve police officers, Dubach police officers.
Well, I gotta get a reason to have one first.
Right.
Okay, moving on to 8. I put in your ballot ordinance 441 regarding water meter deposits. We have had quite a few over the past year of people that moved out, left high water bills. Their minimal water deposit that they put up has not covered their bills, and they leave owing another bill, most of which we don't even have a forwarding address for most of them. So that's just money the town's having to eat. So I'm recommending that we raise the water meter deposits to help cover the cost of, and also because of our water rates that have gone up, our homeowners were paying $50 water deposit. Well, very few get a $50 water bill anymore. I mean, the minimum is $46, but very few people, get that. So I'm asking that the council consider, if it's a homeowner that owns the property and it's in their name, that they pay $150 deposit. If a tenant comes in to rent a place, then their deposit would be $250. I did check with Bernie's next to us. Theirs was considerably higher than these two prices. So I think their homeowners were around $250 and their renters were more. But we do need to consider for sure, for both of them, we need to raise the deposit amount. But for sure the renters, because the renters are mainly the ones that are up and leaving.
So where's the cost for meter deposit? What is the council?
Right now, the homeowner pays $50 and the renter pays $125.
So we want to raise it $100 for the homeowner
Yes,
and
$250. It's $125 to $250.
so double.
And that not only has to do with the fact that they're homeowner or they're renting, it's also the fact that our water rates and our monthly water bills are much higher. So if they leave owing a month or 6 weeks for the water bills, some of them even 2 months, because they leave right before it's time to collect the money, and then they get another bill, then it doesn't even come close to covering their water deposit. So we do need to raise it. Also on here, installing new water meters inside the city limits has gone up We don't do that in-house. We hire someone to put in new water meters. These costs reflected are basically what we're charging. That also includes the actual deposit. So if it was a homeowner, 150 of that would be his deposit for his water meter. And I put on here that there's a price for same side. So if the water is on my side of the street and I want new water, it's one price. If you're on the opposite side of the street, he's got a bore under the road, that's a different price, because he's gonna charge for boring. But we do need to raise this. I mean, it's just, we just need to raise it. In fact, we had about 3 of them come in and put deposits down today, and I'm sitting at my desk going, ooh, you could come tomorrow. The next day, we might have raised it. And it was like the word got out, so they all rushed up there to put a water deposit down. Also, I want to clarify that a lot of people move into air property that's not owned by them. They, someone may have passed away or went to a nursing home, some grandkid or someone else may have wanted to move into it. They should be considered a tenant, not a homeowner, because those people have no ties to that property, and they'll have a tendency to up and leave it as well. So people that move into a property that's not legally theirs should be considered a tenant, whether they're paying rent to someone or not.
So this is a meter deposit. It's the same thing as water deposit?
No, there's 2 of them here. One's a water deposit, and one is getting new meter, new service at your house.
On the current meters that we have, that we just put in.
So it is, you're right.
No,
It's
we get in the water deposit.
It is 2 different things. So the 150 for the homeowner and the 250, that is for a water deposit. So if you move into a house that has a current meter, and that person has moved out, they've gotten their meter deposit back, you put up a deposit. This next one is for a new install. So for example, if somebody builds a house or moves a mobile home in or something of that nature, that's where the same side and opposite side comes into play. Those are new installations, and Clyde helped us set those prices for those 2 things.
What is the current tenant paying? Yeah, what is the current tenant paying?
So right now, 125.
125, so this is double that amount.
And if you're really not satisfied with these rates, I could see lowering the homeowner rate a little bit and keeping the tenant rate higher. A homeowner is less likely to move out and leave us hanging than the tenant is. So if those rates are egregious, then maybe consider that.
Do they get when they move out, they get the deposit back?
Yes, ma'am. If they are not owing.
Right.
And if they're owing, then we take what they owe out of their deposit.
You don't have to be water bill.
Yes,
At least you
ma'am.
won't be stuck too hard.
Yes, ma'am, exactly. And some tenants, you know, they have a big leak and they don't want to fix it and they move out, then they can have a $600 bill. We've seen that lately.
So let's say currently right now, someone's paying 125. We raise this today. Are they gonna pay the 125 or is that?
Only new people.
Only new people.
Yeah.
So whenever you adopt an ordinance, follow your new people. I mean, we've got people on our books that paid a $7.50 water deposit. I mean, it's just, you know, that's some of the cheapest that I've seen so far, was $7.50. But the cost of water deposits grow based on how much your water bills are. Because you want to make sure you can cover the water bill if someone does leave it.
Just for an example, the people that go up in parsonage, or Baptist parsonage,
What kind of deposit will they get? They've already came in and put down their deposit, and they paid a $50 water deposit. It would have been after this, it would be whatever y'all agree on.
250 or 40 of it.
Okay, that's what I was saying.
So are we gonna vote on the 25 or table it or? It's up to y'all. I brought the ordinance to the table in hopes that we get this done so that we can move forward with our new rates.
So we're at, so the homeowners, we cut it down, we keep it at 150, you saying?
Yeah.
And the tenant go down to 1.
Oh, I would, if anything, I would lower the homeowner.
I can tell you right now,
And keep the
guys,
tenant, but
I'm gonna need to table this personally, just for, I say personally, for my district. Because I was reading this week, and now that I understand it, I'm gonna run it by some of the people that I can go and talk to in my district. Because I wasn't elected, I was.
The people that you are in your district now have already paid a deposit. They don't owe anything else.
Well, I don't know that, I just know that I'm gonna go door to door with this, and now that I know how to explain this, man, we got enough people coming up here.
But what she's
Water
saying,
bill is-
is it's not gonna affect those people that are already there. The only people that it will affect are people that are related to the market, that you have not even met, is what she's saying.
it's not gonna
It's
affect
not
your
gonna affect
current, your
your
current,
people that you're representing right now.
your current residents, it's not going to affect.
I
It's
am
only gonna
aware
affect
of
somebody
people
moving.
leaving,
Is there anybody in my
water.
district?
Yes.
What about-
Yeah.
I think the water is not even safe and clean, so why are we jumping ahead and trying to charge more for it? Let's concentrate on making the repairs first before we jump to charging people more.
We can,
What would y'all like to,
This has more to do with not the cleanliness of the water.
But people are already griping because now we have to go and install water filters ourselves because you haven't done your job. Y'all just started trying to make a plan.
okay, this is not on the this is not clean water topic. That was
Yeah,
earlier, so we're basically on the water meters and the installation.
Due to the fact that we have lost, and I know for myself, a lot of people have moved out and left their water bills, and it's gotta be paid. Dubach has to pay those water bills.
Even people die off, older people die off, their relatives don't want to pay it.
It has to be
We're
paid.
already asking.
So we're asking how much? Give me the prices.
So these are,
Homeowners.
homeowners, 150, and then, I definitely wouldn't go any lower on the town.
And they get these deposits back.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so they get the money back.
They,
right?
if they do things the right way, they get their money back.
Okay, so the homeowners is a continue, and the other is a.
yes.
Okay,
And
two different deposits, one for the water and one for the meter. And it just said one deposit, 150, that's
Yes.
both the meter, if they had to have another meter. And y'all said something about two prices a few minutes ago?
Well,
That's for installation,
If
on a new
Yeah,
installation.
if you need a new meter.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
So you have to pay
But
another
in
deposit.
in the price of the new meter, if you had to get a new meter, your homeowners or your rent will be a homeowner, your homeowner $150 cost is in there.
Okay, your deposit.
So you
come
don't
back
have to pay for it again.
I don't know if Ruby, I didn't hear what she just said, but say, like I called you today and asked you if you had got my payment. So if my deposit for my meter was $50 and y'all are upping it, but it gets cut off because my check gets to y'all's thing late. So what does that factor in? Do I have to pay a $150 reconnect fee, or do I pay?
No, it's
Am I
different.
grandfathered in?
We're not talking about reconnect fees, we're just talking about deposits.
Just when somebody
For
moves it,
new meters or for new renters? For new
Right.
homeowners or
new
new renters?
homeowners or new renters, that's it,
Okay.
not existing customers.
Okay.
So existing customers, this changes nothing.
Right, no,
Copy,
no.
copy that, okay.
I just overheard earlier one of the council members worried about if this was gonna affect one person that's currently moving in. why would that be a negative thing and you're not worried about anybody else? Like, it seems like you are picking and choosing to see who you're concerned about, if it affects them or not.
Who said something?
She was worried about the parish.
No, she was just asking, what did the
What did
parish
you-
pay? No, she wasn't concerned, she was just simply asking, what did they pay? That, I don't think it was out of concern, she just wanted to know what did they pay, that's not what she said.
Why would you bring it up?
I mean, that's her, I mean,
Why
that's
would
Ms.
you bring it
Gilbert.
up?
Why did you want to know what the parish paid? You were just curious? She just wanted to know. There was no
Okay,
reason.
let's either take a vote
And this is
or,
money they'll get back. This is just to cover water used in case they leave. You know, in case I jump up and leave a water bill, the town is responsible for paying it. But if I leave and everything is paid, I get that money back. So that's what it is.
right.
Okay, so I think we need to go on.
I'll go ahead and make a
Okay,
motion
so
to
I need a
to accept
motion
both.
to,
Donald's made a motion.
Make a motion to accept both the ordinances that are being proposed.
okay, do I have a second? We have a motion and a second.
Who seconded?
Angela, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstains? Okay, LMA conference is August 4th through the 7th. It is in Monroe this year, so we will not have hotel bills. If you want to go to all the classes, then you'll need to drive to Monroe every day for 3 days. So I'm recommending that on expense reimbursement, since most everybody eats at the convention, that we do straight $150 expense reimbursement for mileage for the council to go to the Monroe classes.
And do we need to clarify that?
So someone said somebody didn't want.
That wanting to stay?
I mean, it hadn't been talked about, it hadn't been voted, it's just been decided.
No, we haven't decided, we're just bringing it up today. That's what we're here to talk about.
I know what you just said. So if somebody want to go, they can be ready, so they can make it.
Well, I just assumed 30 miles was not a big deal, so I think that's all. But, I mean, I guess if somebody wants to spend the night up there, then we'll pay for hotels.
I'm
I
just
mean, we
saying,
pay for hotels every year, this one just happens to be close by.
If you wanted to go there and
Just
stay,
see.
that's what she.
this may be an option for somebody that's what they'll do. So I make a motion that however, we have to put this in here because it just
Yes,
states.
we have time, because it's August 4th.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get ahead of it. Okay, J is the Dubach, Celebrate Dubach event. We do have someone working on a ball tournament, co-ed ball tournament for that event. I do have some music that I have spoken with. I gave you information on the music vendor. He will do, I think he said pop, classic, rock, and country. He also does light shows and things like that. He also will have speakers to where the people in the actual park will be able to hear. He'll have speakers placed in the park area so that you don't have to sit right in front of the amphitheater. You can sit at the park where most people have to sit and still be able to hear the music this year. That was one of the key things I wanted because even sitting on the road in front of the amphitheater, you could barely hear the music the last 2 years. So we definitely need somebody like that. I will need a okay to hire Mr. Denton, Lee Denton Music Company.
This is, have they already been gotten or?
No,
Okay, so they total is $2,600?
yes,
You have to pay a $1,300 deposit. Now,
Yes.
what fund will this come out of?
it will come out of the donation account.
That'll be.
I'm in the process, I've written about 20 letters. We got some donation in today, but I'm in the process of getting donations. Last year, we more than covered our donation, in donations to cover our whole event last year, so we weren't having any money, and I look for that to happen again this year.
Donation. I was just wondering what bags are out there. That's what I was hoping.
Also, first year we did white shirts, for our t-shirt. The second year we did red. So this year we decided maybe blue. And this is one of the designs that we can have for our t-shirts this year. T-shirts have gone up a little bit in price, but we've been selling them for $15 each. I think we can sell them for $20. We can also ship to someone, which hasn't been, we haven't done that in the past. I did get with the post office, we can ship a t-shirt to someone for $3. So if they wanted to pay $23, and there's a lot of out-of-town people, especially through the Dubach Legends Facebook page, that would love a t-shirt that aren't here. So we can ship them to them for, $3, so they pay $23, and then we get their address and ship it to them.
When is this? When is this event?
This event is July the 4th.
July 4th.
It falls on the 4th this year. I am looking for someone who is interested in trying to put together a kayak race for the pond. I got on the kayak Facebook page, and there's a lot of interest, but nobody said, I'll do it. So if you know of anybody that kayaks that would like to put some buoys out in the pond and run the timer and just have some good fun on the pond, that would be something that could be done. Also, I added arts and crafts to the day. We haven't been having a lot of arts and crafts vendors. However, we're going to open up the community center, so that'll give people during the daytime to come in here, look at arts and crafts, cool off, shop from local vendors. I do have some people that are already sending in an application to reserve their spots, and in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be reaching out to food vendors. So if you know of anyone that might have an interest in having food or arts and crafts, have them contact the town hall. We'll make sure that everybody that wants a spot can get on. I have been asking that the people that want to be inside the community center pay a $20 arts and crafts vendor space for the use of our tables and the use of our electricity. I thought that was very reasonable, a lot cheaper than most of the places we're charging. And if you don't want to charge them anything, I can do that too. I was just trying to cover the cost of electricity and all for that day. I think it will be a nice event this year. We still will have the kids fishing tournament that morning. Already lined someone out to make sure that happens. Let's see what else is on there. Of course, the fireworks will be phenomenal, just like they are every year. And like I said, we have $13,000 in our donation account now. Some of that has been donated specifically for the event, and I'm just now starting to get donations in, and I don't have a problem. I think I'll collect all that we need. I think we'll still have $13,000. Any questions on that?
I got a question. What about, if Lincoln Parish is still under a burn ban for the fireworks, how does that factor in to doing a fireworks show? If we're still under a burn ban?
If we're still under a burn ban, I'll get with Lincoln Parish Police Department. I think because we shoot them over the pond, it's okay, but they may want to send a truck up here to be on standby.
Just gotta worry about the residue from the
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
cinders falling into the woods and stuff. Especially with Mr. and Mrs. Gibson's house right there.
Right.
That's what you gotta worry about. I'm just asking.
We do contact the fire department every year, and they usually have some people up here, but they haven't brought a fire truck up here for the events. But we will, if they need a fire truck, they'll probably.
So we don't have a truck over here?
Yeah, but I don't know how, I don't know the schematics of that. I don't know if they use it. I don't see it out very much.
Okay, I didn't know if it was still in the fire, in the.
It has been, I'm assuming it still is, I haven't been in there. Okay. Any public comments on anything that we discussed as new business for today that hasn't already said what they needed to? Yes,
I just wanted to let y'all, just say my piece on the ballpark. We worked hard on it, spent our own money doing all that, and I want to see it used for generations to come. I just don't want us to outprice us. Don't get greedy here. We need to talk to Farmerville and Jonesboro and see what they do. Of course, there's different, Jonesboro's got 3 fields, one of them's a turf, you know what I mean? I understand that, you know what I mean? But they're cheaper than us, and just don't outprice it. Do what y'all want to, but don't outprice the field. Anyway, that's all I had to say. See y'all.
okay. Number 9, the egg hunt was a success. It was wet, but it was a success. Easter Bunny had fun, I think. I know he was dirty when he got through, but he came clean. We had 56 kids.